Hello painters, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, back today for our latest YouTube challenge. So this time Purnima has been the one who has posed this challenge for the team, and it's going to be a first for me. We have to do a flip and drag, and she has given us some compulsory colours. We have to use purple, we have to use yellow, and we have to use a metallic blue. This is the only metallic blue I could find. It's a Craft Smart one called Sapphire, and it does look very, very nice in the top, so hopefully it will come out like that. So these colours I think are going to be notoriously difficult to work with. I'm thinking the purple and the yellow together are not going to work well. I think this is why she's chosen it. She's tricked me. She's tricked me with these colours. I think they're not going to work. So she says we can add 2 colours of our choice. So because I like my metallics and my sparkly colours, I'm going to go for a gold, because I think gold always looks good with purple. So I'm going to put that one in. And then I'm also going for a magenta. Oh, the cat's found his ping pong ball again. Hopefully he won't knock us all over. So I'm going for this nice bright kind of magenta, because I'm thinking it's going to go nicely with the yellow, the blue and the pink. That'll look good. Now we have an option to use a white or a black negative space, but because I know my purple dries really, really dark, when I've used it with black in the past, it basically looks black, so it disappears. So I'm thinking that would kind of be cheating. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the purple, but if I use black, it would disappear, and that would be kind of against the rules. So I'm going to use white for my negative space. And it's the first time I've done one of these, so we will see how it turns out. I've watched a couple of videos. So in terms of my mix, these ones are all pre-mixed, as you can see in my cups. The little one I've mixed separately. They're all mixed about 2 parts paint to 1 part of the Floetrol, plus water as necessary to get them to the right consistency. The little Craft Smart one didn't need any water. And then I've added the silicone belt treadmill lubricant to all of the pre-mixed colours. And the blue one, I felt a little bit of a change was needed today. So I've put 2 drops of the KY True Feel dimethicone lubricant into that one. So it's a bit of a mix and match today, and we'll see what comes of it. So I'm going to carefully layer these colours in, and I want to try and be careful not to put these 2 together, because I think these are going to be my difficult combination. So I'm going to start, I think, with the purple, and I'm going to just put it very carefully down the side of my cup there. I'm also not entirely sure about how much paint I'm going to need in my cup, because of course it's a flip. So once it's flipped, it's all out there, whether it's been the right amount or the wrong amount. So I want to try and be a little bit careful. There goes my gold, that I don't add too much and end up with no negative space. And there goes my pink, and I'm layering them kind of carefully into the cup right now, because I'm thinking it will be the flip and the drag that's going to make the cells, and I don't need to worry too much about putting them in the cup with a lot of height, although I will do with the blue. Just see how that one goes. Let's mix that one in a little bit, and then I'm going to go back round my colours again. So a little bit of the purple, maybe not as much as I added the first time, because I think this is the crazy one in the batch. A bit more yellow. And some gold, because I love my gold. Lots of gold, because that's going to look nice with the white. And a bit more pink. And the rest of the blue. So I'm not sure whether the rules allowed for white to be in the flip cup or not. So I'm going to leave it out, because I'm going to have white on my canvas, just because I don't want to break the rules. And she's not around right now for me to double check that with her. But she did specifically say those 3 colours plus 2 others, so I don't think white is allowed in the flip cup. Who knows? Unless I suppose it's one of your colours, which it's not. So there, my colours are all in, and I've got about up to here in terms of paint. So I thought I would flip my cup on one side and then lift the canvas, and hopefully the cup kind of hover over the paint, so we will see. So the first thing I think to do is to flip my cup, and that can sit there. And then this is my white. This one doesn't have any silicone in. This is just my negative space colour. This is just mixed with the Floetrol and water. I'm going to add that around on the canvas, and then tilt it about. If I hold on to this cup, hopefully I can tilt it about to cover the canvas pretty much. I often have a tendency with my negative space to make my negative space, whoa, disaster strikes. I wasn't holding my cup steady enough and it spilled out a little bit. Okay, well, never mind. I'm going to tilt it about a bit anyway. Oh, I just left a load more come out. Okay, so my canvas is covered, my cup is already leaking, but I thought what I'm going to do is take a tack. Where's my tack? There it is. And I've seen this happen before, where if you release the pressure in the cup by making a little hole, that the cup should, in theory, shimmy about on its own. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to press down here. Come on. Oh, maybe the side would be easier. Okay. So I put a couple of holes, release the pressure in the cup, and then the paint should come out on its own. No. Well, that's no surprise there that things aren't working out. Now I've got a little bit of a white gap, so before I go any further, I'm going to get my palette knife and just pick up some of my white spill and fill in my negative space, just in case it all turns out kind of nice and I don't want to have to overly tilt it to cover that in. The sides I don't worry too much because I can always go around and paint those with a little brush, but I've also got a bit of white that I need to fill in here. So I'm going to do that before I go any further and let my cup think about itself. Oh, paint is coming out. I take it back a little bit. I can definitely see paint coming out. Okay, so maybe I just need to be patient and let the paint do its thing. So I've also remembered to strain my white paint this time. I've had a couple of problems in the past where I've done paintings with a negative space, especially this purple. This purple was really difficult. I did a negative space before and it all had lumps and bumps in it. Normally I only get that with my white. First time I had it with another colour. But I find that the white tends to be a bit more lumpy and bumpy when it's dried. So this time I mixed it well. I've strained it twice. So I'm hoping when it dries it'll be cool. So far I'm getting some really cool stuff just here, and the paint is slowly seeping out of this cup. I'm going to get my specs on and I'm going to lift up, and hopefully as I lift the cup will shimmy off down the canvas on its own. Let's see what happens. Oh, there it goes. Oh, looks good. Good so far. I'm not sure the paint's coming out though. Is the paint coming out? Because all I'm getting here is kind of a streak, and the paint is being kind of slid away by the cup, almost like I'm swiping with the cup. So I need, I think, to tilt back over that area, and I'm going to gently lift the cup as I go and hopefully cover up that patch. Okay, now we're good. And I can use the cup lightly to swipe. Okay, so my cup is empty, my paint is on my canvas, and it kind of dragged on its own a little bit. So, what do I think about my shape? I don't think much about it. So I'm going to move it around a little bit and see what I get. I have to say though, the colours look really good. That metallic blue is fabulous. Fabulous indeedy. Now I don't want it necessarily to go all the way off the edge. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to put that back there and give myself time to think. This is nice, and these bits are nice. This bit here is kind of solid. I could have maybe broken that up a little bit. Maybe if I tilt this way and kind of bring it down in an arc. Let's see what happens. Now it's spread it out nicely. It'd be a shame to lose that bit at the bottom, but I think I need to take it off that edge so that I've got it going over the three edges. That might just be enough. Let's see how it settles. Yeah, I think I need a bit more. Take it a bit more over that edge. Just like that. Now that is nice. I think I liked these areas here more, where the cup kind of started to leak out on its own. The areas around this part here and this part here, I think I like a little bit more than this main part. So I think I had too much paint. I'm not able to spread it out as much as I would like, so that's a good rule for the future. I definitely, if I'm going to do a canvas of this kind of size with this kind of style, I think I need less paint. And then I would have had you know, more of an opportunity to spread that paint around rather than have it kind of concentrated. However, I am liking it, and the metallics in that blue are great. I've got a little bit of what you might call muddying, just a little bit around this side. I think where the purple and yellow have mixed a little bit, but mostly I'm seeing the blue and the magenta, and the purple and yellow have kind of disappeared. So, oh, there's some purple here, and I've got some areas of yellow. So I think I've completed the challenge. Pranima, thank you very much for challenging me to complete my first flip and drag. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very happy with the results. So I'm going to bring the camera now down and show you some of the nice details in this pour, but do hang around to the end, because we're going to show some photographs of our finished pours, and I'd encourage you to go over and see all of the other videos in this challenge, and please do also take up the challenge yourself. We have a whole month now for you to complete this challenge, so if you've never done a flip and drag before, give it a try. Don't use as much paint as I did, and then you'll give yourself a little bit more options for moving it around on your canvas. So look out for all those all the pictures of the other paintings, go and watch the other videos and take us up on this challenge. So here's my painting. I think it looks kind of cool. I very much like the edges. I think the edges are the best part. This is the part where the paint kind of seeped out from the edge of the cup. I think these are the best parts of it. So I think if I had had less paint, I'd have effectively got kind of more edges and less of this large central area. However, the large central area is super, super sparkly with that blue. You may or may not be able to see the sparkles, but it's really, really nice. So I'm not overly disappointed with that. I think I've done a good job. Wow, that part there, the colours in that little section, ooh, and this part here, so super sparkly. So thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully you will take part in the Flip, Cut and Drag challenge with us this month.